Good morning. My name is Paul Roth. I'm based out of LA, and this is Paul and YouTube in the morning. Happy Oscars Monday. I think I've prepared everything that I should be prepared, except I forgot to pull my chat window up here. Okay, there it is. At some point in the near future, I might be changing how I do my live shows. I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's jump right into dislikes this Monday morning, February 27th, the Monday morning after the Oscars. My first dislike is not about the Oscars. My first dislike is about elected representatives not actually having their town hall meetings, which, hey, you're our employee. You need to do that. They are cowards. There's a link in the description of this video to Marco Rubio running away from town halls. Dislike. And you should be aware of this. Even if you are conservative, you should dislike your representatives not meeting with you. In the chat, we are joined by, this is Ewan. Good morning, Ewan. So now let's get on to the Oscars. Dislikes first. Get those out of the way. Films that should have gotten more. Hidden Figures should have gotten something. Moana should have gotten more. How close we came to Lin-Manuel's EGOT, and yet no. Sexual assailants who should have gotten nothing. Casey Affleck. Racist, anti-Semite, Holocaust deniers that should not be invited to anything in Hollywood anymore. Mel Gibson. I'm sure there are more, but specifically Mel Gibson. Jimmy Kimmel saying that La La Land should keep the Oscar they didn't win. I dislike you, Jimmy Kimmel. We're also joined in the chat by Katrina. Good morning, Katrina. And now that that's out of the way, let's move on to the likes, because there were some likes this year for me in the Oscars, and normally there are hardly any. But I loved Auli'i Cravalho's performance at the Oscars, right at the beginning. It was beautiful. She got hit on the head with a prop wave of from one of the dancers behind her, and she just kept soldiering on because she's awesome. And I think she's just 16 still, so she has a huge future ahead of her, and I cannot wait to see what else she does. I am so glad that Mahershala Ali won Best Supporting Actor. I mean, I knew that he was a force to be reckoned with from the Luke Cage series on Netflix, which you should check out if you haven't watched it. But damn, that man, I loved him in Hidden Figures, and he was a powerhouse in Moonlight, so yay. And speaking of, I'm glad that Moonlight won Best Picture. It sucks that the wrong envelope got into Warren Beatty's hands, and neither he nor Faye Dunaway stopped themselves from making that gaffe on live TV. But eventually, the truth came out, and the producer of La La Land corrected the mistake on stage. Very impressed by him. Still, Moonlight should have gotten the entire time to accept their award and get all the yay moments. It's a shame that didn't happen, but they did win. They did win Best Picture. Hooray. Let's see here. In the chat, we are also joined by Rebel Wheels NYC, who says good morning. Good morning. Ewan says, I thought it was a bit they were doing. I think that's about the messed up announcement of the Best Picture. I mean, it's easy to fall into conspiracies, but this is not a Trump and Russia thing. I think this is just a mild case of incompetence that just happened at the worst time. If Jimmy Kimmel is exposed to have set this up as a prank, I wouldn't be surprised, but I just don't think that's what happened. I think it was just a really bad mistake. Now I'm going to switch over to learning, my learning segment. And over the weekend, I finally read through a few websites on Los Angeles's Measure S, which is up for vote on March 7th. I myself am personally extremely concerned about rising rent prices and increasing homelessness in Los Angeles. Ever since I got here, I've seen the enormity of the homelessness issue here in this city. And I think passing Measure S would perpetuate both problems, would make increasing rent increasing rent on the low end just perpetuate, and would make homelessness perpetuate as well. So for me, I'm going to vote no on Measure S. And I've linked to a website with information about that in the description of this video. This only pertains to you, I suppose, if you live in Los Angeles, but it's also a reminder that you should be checking for information about your local elections, not just presidential. Every year, just check to see if there are local elections that you can get involved in to fix this mess of a government we have right now. Helping segment. My helping segment for this morning, last week's guest, who you probably enjoyed, Annie Elaney, she had to go to the emergency room over the weekend. I don't know about the details, but I do know that she shared a tweet about how she needed assistance financially. So there's a link to her tweet in the description of this video. If you can donate anything, even like $1, please do. I tried to donate a little bit of money, even though I am still poor. If you can help her, that would be great. If you can't, maybe just go to the tweet and retweet it to spread the reach of it. Updates. I almost made it through a show without a but I didn't. Updates. I finally finished watching all of the Mary Tyler Moore Show. 7 seasons worth. Long seasons. There were some ups and downs after Rhoda left the cast. I didn't enjoy it as much after Rhoda was gone and had her own show. But then I tried watching Rhoda's own show, and I didn't like that very much either. So I don't know what to say about that. But when Valerie Harper joined Mary Tyler Moore and Ed Asner and the rest of the crew on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, it was golden. And so I'm glad I watched all the show finally. But most importantly, my compulsion to keep on watching that show, not diagnosed, just figurative, is now fulfilled. I don't have to watch it anymore. It's done. Yay. And then it's not my update. It's not my update, but I learned from NerdCon Nerdfighteria this weekend that How to Adult, the YouTube channel, is coming back. Yay! Link to, I think their announcement video is in the description of this video. How to Adult. I'm glad it's coming back on YouTube. Speaking of, Katrina from the chat, Katrina said that she thought that I was at NerdCon, but because at one point someone came up to her and said, "Paul's friend." Aw, I like that I have had that kind of ripple effect among YouTubers on the internet. That's cool. Okay, to my plans. I'm going in for more training for my new job today after this show is over. And then I think that's the last of my scheduled training. I think I still have a little bit more left. I want to believe that they're ramping me up to get started with my official position and work on March 1st, but I'm not sure, and that's right around the corner. So we'll see what happens with that. Whenever I am called in to start working, this show might change. We'll see what happens. Let's see here. In the chat, Katrina says, "I'm so excited about How to Adult. It was such a wonderful surprise." And then also says, "This happened a lot with people knowing me because of you." That's awesome. I'm glad. Tomorrow, come back here to the show to join me for Emma Tobias as my guest. Yay, Emmers is going to be here. Updates. I also need to finalize plans. I also need to finalize my voting regimen for March 7th. I need to finish going through the little informational pamphlet that I've gotten from LA. So I'm working on that. If you have any suggestions for things that I can do that are collaborative, that bring in lots of my viewers and other YouTubers for my 4th anniversary, please let me know in the comments. Yeah, not everybody can sing, not everybody can dance, not everybody can play a musical instrument, but everybody can probably do something on the internet. And I want to find out something that'll be able to encourage lots of people to join in. So let's switch over to Dog Cam to take me out here. Yeah. And thanks for watching the show. Hopefully this is going to be a great week. The Moonlight over La La Land upset makes me hopeful for a good week this week. Thank you, as usual, to my $5 plus Patreon supporters, Melissa, Zainab, Mandy, Jessica, Amy, Filippo, and Jennifer D. If you have not yet joined my Patreon, you can join it for as little as $1, or even just follow it if you like on Patreon using the link in the lower left-hand corner. If you have not yet subscribed, use the subscription link in the lower right-hand corner. As always, thanks for watching, and tomorrow will be even better.